My first solo VM mission was the Mt Ommaney store, which is a brown format. I made sure that I arrived early, giving myself time to check out the centre, go over my notes and enjoy a coffee. Prior to making any plans for the day, I looked over a few store photos that I had been given and began to reflect on key questions such as, what are the challenges and are there any missed opportunities? In the first photograph, the lease line, I observed that the store appeared tidy. Referring to the current March directive, or FYI, I saw that the styles featured on the greeter were correct, however appeared tight on the store's narrow nesting table. I also noted that the exclusive swing tags were also missing from featured styles, and too many acrylic sign holders were placed on the fixture. On looking at the back wall, I also saw that the backpack bay was overcrowded and dark. The fashion duffel wall was okay, but had an opposite problem of too much white space, and I felt that more attractive product could be better showcased here. Although further investigation was needed, on looking at the photo, I felt there was an opportunity to elevate the pelmets. In previous brown format stores that I had visited, we had changed the luggage to front-face displays to showcase the product and enhance the bays underneath. On looking at the handbag wall bays, it was pretty obvious that the standards were going to be a focus area for training on this visit. The checkerboarding of the bays was not consistent, as was the colour flow and family groupings in other areas. Other basic standards also looked as though they needed some attention, such as correct stuffing and strap presentation. When looking at the travel shop, this issue was also apparent for swing tag standards and styling of the travel plinths. After I had taken some notes down, I decided to give Gian, the regional manager, a call. As it was my first time visiting this store, I just wanted to find out more. I asked her questions such as, can you please give me a brief overview of the store manager and team? And are there any team challenges currently? Gian let me know that there had been some positive changes and that the store manager, Terry Ann, was an established team member who had just recently been appointed to store manager. Ashley, who was a casual that I was working with, was eager to learn, and Gian wanted her to develop a stronger eye for detail and give her a better understanding of company brand standards. My next questions were, what is going well at the moment and what isn't going well? Gian let me know that business, handbags and branded did pretty well in this store. However, travel, which was once also a solid department, has been impacted due to the decrease in tourism. My final question was, are there any areas in which you want to further elevate? Gian let me know that the store had undergone some changes a month ago, so she didn't believe that there were any major changes that needed to be made. I agreed and suggested that we work on fine-tuning the displays and training. She also made me aware of storage issues in regard to travel and that the shelves in store were bolted in place so were unable to be adjusted. Upon arrival to the store, I took a good look at the store from the customer's perspective. The team were busy serving customers, tidying and replenishing the floor. The store felt dark and congested in some areas though. Standards were good, but could be elevated through further detailing. I introduced myself and had a casual chat to get to know the team so they would feel comfortable with having me in the store. I then asked Terry Ann to print me out 2 copies of her class sales report and started to talk through it with her. Upon discussion, it was apparent that she had a great week of handbag sales with an emphasis on leather and branded. However, there was further opportunity in Maracay and Laura Jones. Using the tablet and FYI as a reference point, I asked Terry Ann and Ash to walk me through their setup. As we walked through the setup, she discovered that a few minor points were missed, and we fixed these things up as we went along. On the greeter, we got rid of the GWP signage and placed it into the wall bay. I then swapped 2 bags in the middle row around to create some space between the bags and took away 1 bag off the greeter, which was already shown in a different colourway. As travel had been recently done, this only required some fine-tuning. Due to the limitations in shelving, we were unable to drop the top shelf down to reduce the white space above the soft display. Instead, I opted to bring the small suitcase to the middle shelf and place a large soft in front of the medium on the top shelf. We also removed a row of duffels in order to create a clean colour runs through the bay and front face the pelmets to further enhance the run. Temporarily, this is okay as the bin levels for travel have been reduced. Due to the bay layout in the store, there was no clear definition between the Horizon feature wall, Flylight, and Branded. As stock was limited, I created a sampling of bright colours in the Horizons. The challenge here was that many of the lines were fragmented, so we had to fill gaps with fashion duffels. Before playing around with the travel wall, I showed Ash some basic handbag standards, including how to fluff and stuff a bag and what to do with the messy straps. By looking at the wall, I knew there were several styles missing, so I also showed her how to do a visual replan by using the kiosk on the tablet. Following Ash's first try, we went through the FYI together, and she discovered that the browns, sages and blues should be pulled out of the wall bay and placed on the poles as per directive. I then showed her an easy way to checkerboard and balance the colours in the wall. We also had an issue with too many Maracay blazers hanging on one of the stands. To reduce the styles, we used an acrylic riser within the bay to display the excess from the blazer stand. Unfortunately, we ran out of tissue paper and time, so didn't get a chance to cover the rest of the handbag bays in this visit. So I set Terry Ann and Ash some homework to replicate what was done in the Maracay Bay over to Laura Jones and Guess. I asked them to send me through a photograph once this has been completed so we could go through it together. In our communications post-visit, she sent me this picture, which is an improvement. The top row is cluttered with signage, so I have asked her to remove the GWP and Keep Calm and Patient signage and place it instead within the Guest Soft Travel Bay, which is behind the register. One of my key goals for the visit was to improve the customer's sightline. As we were unable to adjust the shelving, I had to adapt and instead found some old acrylic risers. I placed soft travel on top of these to create some height for styles at the back of the unit. Earlier in the day, I had asked Terry Ann to remove the run of travel bags from this backpack bay and spread out the arms, then bring more colourful backpacks to the front of the brand runs, giving the bags room to breathe and brightening that dark corner. We also fixed the poles, ensuring that volume drivers featured prominently, and opted to colour block the sides with sage and blue colours for a tidier look and to take full advantage of sales off promotion. I had let Terry Ann know that I haven't worked with cake stands before, however I knew that it could be better executed. In fact, so did she. So with her knowledge, she redid the stand and colour blocked the new season leather families together and stripped it back for a stunning result. After giving Terry Ann a few small projects to chip away on over the next few days, such as the handbag wall bays, my recommendations upon leaving were to give all of her team consistent Take 5 training on each shift through the week in order to maintain the standards learnt with an emphasis on travel swing tags and bag detailing. Another tip I gave her from my own experience running a successful and busy store was to do consistent blitz tidies for 10 minutes every hour, focusing on different areas each time. Better zoning could be implemented to create ownership of areas within the store.